Good morning, friends. Today I want to ask you if you've ever heard the saying, measure twice and cut once. That was a lesson that I learned really young from my grandfather, and it was reinforced during my time learning carpentry. And why was that an important lesson? Because if I measured incorrectly, the outcome was incorrect. If I measured too short, the piece wouldn't fit. Measured too long, I would have to waste time, go back, cut it again, and it was not efficient. And in our spiritual walk with God and getting towards spiritual maturity, unfortunately, we measure the wrong things too. And if we measure wrong, the outcome is wrong. And what are some of the ways that we measure that are not the most effective ways? We can measure by how often we come to church. We can measure by how much we're memorizing, how many small groups we're in, how many volunteer opportunities we've taken. Well, all of those are great things, and they are a marker of our faith. It's not necessarily the best marker of our spiritual maturity, because just like Paul said in 1 Corinthians 13, we can do all of those things without loving. Paul says in Corinthians, he says, if I speak in the tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I'm only a resounding gong or the clanging of the cymbal. Meaning it doesn't matter what I say, it's just noise to people. And then he goes on to say, if I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge and have a faith that moves mountains. Did you hear that part? All knowledge. It didn't matter what he knew. If he didn't have love, he would gain nothing. Then he goes on to say, and if I give all I possess to the poor and surrender my body to the flames, but have not love, I gain nothing. See, all of those things that he said, that it didn't matter what he said, what he knew, or what he would do. If it wasn't attached to being loving, it was worthless. And so this week I want to talk about, what do we need to measure in order to get the correct outcome of our vision statement, which is that we are a loving community of growing disciples, mentoring the next generation to live the mission of Jesus through the power of the gospel. So how do we know we're growing? And the question I have to ask and you to ponder this week is, what areas of my life am I measuring my maturity possibly incorrectly? We're going to work on this week, and I hope by the end of the week that you will have a new vision of what spiritual maturity actually looks like. God bless you all, and we will see you tomorrow.